end of the year spring concert. We have 6 really fun pieces to play for you guys tonight. And just a couple of things before we get started. I do know it's 2026 and turning off phones is that's basically illegal, so just make sure the volume is off, please. They're on silent mode. That would be wonderful. On the program, on the back, I'm not going to insult your intelligence and read to you, but please check over these guidelines. Basic things, don't talk when we're playing, all that good stuff. In the middle of a piece, don't run in and out of the room. Listen, teenagers don't need extra help being distracted, so random light and stuff like that, you know how it is. So, once again, I'm very glad that you're here. Behind me is the Heritage Hills High School Band, and we have, like I said, 6 pieces, but first things first, it is time for me to get out of the way. We're going to push stands down, they're going to stand up, and now is your time to get, your babies, maybe it's your first high school concert or your last high school concert, somewhere in between. So, everyone up, and I'm going to get out of the way.
Smile real big and pretty. Woo!
Reagan, here's your mom.
Okay. And 3, 2, 1, down. All right. So thank you guys for indulging us. It's more often than not, if I forget that, I hear from more parents than I do students. Imagine that one. So we will be doing 6 pieces, like I said, is all in order on your program. Don't worry, some of these names are a little difficult. Like the 3rd and 4th names, don't worry about it. I will do my best to pronounce it. So there we go. 3 of these pieces we took to our state assessment here a few weeks ago. We barely missed a gold state rating by about a point. So it was very, very close. But as you'll hear with some of these pieces, the ones we took were Brighton Beach, Salvation is Created, and Infinite Hope. And as you'll hear as we get to those, they are significantly more difficult than some of the things that we have taken in the past. So yes, we missed gold, that was a bummer, but we improved a lot and had a good time just improving and making some music together. So we're going to kick this thing off with me not talking much more, and this is William Latham, Brighton Beach. right, as our percussion is moving around getting set for our next piece, I try to buy time. This is where my wife would say, stop rambling. Okay, so next piece coming up is called A Childhood Remembered, and is by one of my favorite composers, Rosano Galante. If you've been around for a while and keep programs because you hang on to stuff, you'll see his name pop up quite a bit. I just like the way that he layers the harmonies. Like we get some cool melodies with some really nice full chord harmonies underneath. This is a piece that, as the name implies, is meant to invoke happy childhood memories. So hopefully that is something that we can do here for you guys. It's a fun piece to play and conduct. I don't get to play it, I get to conduct. So I enjoy it. I think some of them do. But here we go, Childhood Remembered. Right. Number 2, Childhood Remembered. It has quickly become one of my favorites of the year. Next up is Total Change of Pace. We keep slowing down. This is going to be our slowest piece of the evening. This is called Salvation is Created by, ready for this one, Pavel Chesnikov. You're welcome. So, it's one of those, like silent T names. Yeah. I don't have one of those in my name, just in case you were wondering. It's on the page if you get confused. This is a slow piece. For anyone with a religious background, the story of salvation, et cetera, not to get super religious on things. But this just has some really cool melodies and interplay between different instruments. Lots of really, really great things that as an ensemble has helped us grow. And you'll hear that we have some really big moments, we have some really soft moments, and our players have had to pay very close attention to, okay, who has the main melody? Do I need to back off here? So some really, really great concepts that we've been able to apply to some of our other music too. So super pretty piece at times, and super beneficial just for any ensemble, growing or not growing. So here we go. This is Chesnikov's Salvation is Created. All right, short and sweet, sometimes just what we need at times. So, a little palate cleanser for what's coming next. That was probably one of the gentlest things that you'll hear tonight. We're gonna jump right into probably, if not the most, probably second most aggressive piece of the evening. This is Yuka Vidassari's Crossing the Bosporus. If you're not super familiar, like I wasn't, it's actually referencing a natural strait, I believe somewhere around Turkey area. So I learned something along the way too, because you know, even as adults, we can never stop learning. We shouldn't stop learning. It's a gift. Okay, we are finishing tuning up timpani here. So enjoy crossing the Bosporus without the stutter next time, hopefully. All right, so very different, a little aggressive, at least for me. So we're gonna take just a couple of extra minutes between this switch here, and number one, give our brass players a little face break, because if you play brass, then you know So our next piece coming up was our big main piece at our state assessment, Infinite Hope, and has some very, very difficult parts. One of our band members actually jokes around and calls it Finite Hope. I wonder who that would be. Cough, cough. Okay, but it is got some really, really tricky passages that you'll hear in just a few minutes by Brian Balmages. But we cannot have a spring concert without recognizing a few very, very special individuals. These are our seniors, and most of them have been with me for 7 years at this point. So this is always a bittersweet moment for me, as our last concert, like, okay, this is about as close as not having an adult child. Like, this is as close as I feel I get to, okay, well, you're out of the house, see you later. Because I have really fond memories with every person on this list I'm going to read. So I could go into each one, but I'm not going to, because you don't want to see my tears, and you want to recognize them, because at this point they're the ones who deserve the recognition, not me. So seniors, when I call your name, stand up and remain standing, and we'll hold our applause for the end. And I highlighted, I had someone check it, so you know who you are. If I miss someone, it's not my fault. Just kidding, it 100% is my fault. So, Caroline Arning, Brooklyn Bryant, Brooklyn Cahoon, Becca Jackson, Quinn Keller, Jason Marvin, Evan Pitt, and Jack Rapé. So these are our graduating seniors this year. Let's show them that we appreciate them. Thank you. All right, you can have a seat. And just know, seniors, that this group would never grow to what we could be without the hard work that you guys put in. So, even on those long marching band days and those grueling contest days and all of the playing the same 3 or 4 pieces for 3 months at a time for state assessment, thank you from me to you. All right, moving forward, we got 2 pieces left for the evening. And this is Infinite Hope, Brian Balmages. right, we've got one more for you tonight, and this is one that kind of caught me by surprise. We played this a few years ago for a performance. We actually did a graduation a few years ago, and I had some of my seniors come up to me and they're like, "Hey, this is a piece that we all really liked as seniors, and it was really fun to play, and we kind of want this as our exit song. So we're closing out the concert with a senior requested piece, Samuel Hazo. This is Our Kingsland Spring." All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for wonderful attendance tonight. This is awesome to see this many people here for just one group. That's fantastic. Thank you for all of the support that you have shown us over the year. Thanks for letting me spend time with your kids and make some music together. It's always fun. Well, most of the time. You know how it is. So, a couple of quick thank yous. The members themselves, thank you. I can't play this by myself. I just flap my arms and count to 16 sometimes. So we've upgraded from 12, okay? So listen, it took time. No pun intended. Thank you for, obviously, the parents for letting me spend time with your kids in the fall. I know it seems like I spend more time with them than you do. I appreciate the trust that you put in me and our staff here. Also, thank you to our administration for being supportive of our ensembles and just arts across the board. So, tell you what, everyone, let's finish this year strong. We got just 2 weeks left. Let's finish strong and do the thing. Yeah? Thank you, guys. Have a great rest of the